So magic, that's a thing in Final Fantasy XIV. What do? Not to fear, friends. I'm here to clarify the matter. So all of magic relies on the energy of life, ether, specifically making it do things that aren't progress life naturally through the stages we expect with natural mechanisms. Technically, animals breathing fire is a form of magic, but for the most part, people refer to magic as the actions taken by sentient beings to bend ether to their will. Ether comes in 6 flavors: lightning, fire, earth, ice, water, and wind. It also technically has 2 poles or charges, astral and umbral. They made a nice picture about it. The picture is supposed to show how the elements interact with each other, but we can ignore that aspect for the most part because the devs certainly seem to. Like, Thaumaturge has astral fire, which makes fire spells do more damage. Okay, and then you swap to umbral ice, which is where it starts to get iffy. Why does ice make mana regen? What does umbral have to do with any kind of change? It's supposed to be a stilling of ether. But okay, at least they're in the same little triangle. So the third element it uses must be lightning? Why are we wrecking any hope of a pattern? And why does its pole not matter? So you take a deep breath, continue with leveling, switch to Black Mage, and then find out that ancient Black Mages of Mach could summon Void Scent, but you're not getting any Void Scent. You're not even getting summons unless you go the Summoner class. And that... Okay, we'll unpack Summoner in a minute. First, I have to wonder why you get a single random, unaspected, uncharged damage spell. I can get utility spells not being labeled as having an aspector element. I can still kinda see where you could associate them with an aspector element. But Foul has no excuse. And I'd love to talk about Summoner now, but Conjurer at least has something to do with elemental magic, so we should probably go there first. And Conjurer does use elemental magic, or it did. It still uses stone until you unlock the White Mage, and since I've already ranted about leaving the little triangles, it also uses wind for a while. But it hadn't had water since they took away its knockback back in like Heavensward or Stormblood. I'd say it still doesn't, but it's like they finally remembered that it's supposed to last expansion and named a random damage mitigation spell Aqua Veil for no reason. When you progress Conjurer into White Mage, at least White Mage does make sense, with healing and purification being the core of ancient White Mages of Amdapor. But where are my animated golems? Animated golems are half of Amdapor's whole shtick. But fine. I want a pet, so I have to go the pet class. At least the Arcanists are honest about not doing any kind of elemental magic. Instead, they took prayers at wooden carvings from Aloe Aloe and turned it into doing math at gemstones. And that gives us carbuncles. Not that you need a gemstone to summon one, which could be nice, nor are you able to summon one of any gemstone, like many NPCs, but at least Arcanist knows what it's about. Math at rocks. Until you reach 30. It used to almost make sense. You needed a Conjurer at 15 to show an understanding of the healing basics before you could unlock Scholar, and Scholar made sense. You turn your carbuncle into a fairy, just like the mages of Aloe Aloe turn their wooden carvings into fairies, and do healing in a mathy way, relying on shields to prevent damage and your fairy to supplement your healing. It almost makes sense, and I'm totally not a biased Scholar main. But then Summoner does math harder in some Allegan ruins and summons a mini-god. To do what? But alright, you say. At least you also have to have killed the god at least once to summon it. Fine. But where's Leviathan? Rama? Shiva? Mughal? And why can I summon Bahamut? And why can I summon a phoenix before I've killed a phoenix? Or else why is the phoenix not blue? Speaking of blue, why is Blue Mage, the joke job, one of the most reasonable of the mages? You get hit by a spell a couple times, you'll learn the spell. Enough said. Astrologian also makes some sense once you give up on the elemental aspects of magic. It was created in the last era when a really smart guy saw that there was some magic involved in fortune-telling by cards, and then made a whole job about it. I'd say more about it, but lore-wise, that's really it, and anything we could get from the gameplay is about to change. Red Mage makes no sense if Black and White Mage make sense, but they don't, so Red Mage does. Red Mage basically does black magic and white magic to stab harder. It was made by black mages and white mages working together after causing a calamity, but had died out nearly completely, only recently being brought back by a small group. And Sage isn't magic. It's science cosplaying in mage robes, with a splash of conventional medicine from the lore. I love the class, but let's call a spade a spade. Pictomancer, well, I'll have to make a whole video, or maybe a short, once I actually know what Pictomancer is about. For now, it just looks fancy. And that's magic. A bit rantier than the others so far, so let me know if you prefer this energy. I can turn anything into a rant. And if you want to hear me rant or ramble about a specific topic, go ahead and put it in the comments. Adventure awaits!